I've seen loads of people this week complaining about Boris Johnson's appearance at his summit with EU leaders. Right, and here's the thing, how many years do you have to spend pushing people into poverty, stealing for the benefit of the rich and the wealthy, doing everything for support your corporate backers, pushing people further into poverty, destroying the health service, destroying the education system, lying, being corrupt, lying again. How many years do you do that for? For people to turn around at the end of it and go, oh, he's a bit fat, isn't he? Like, that is not the point. Overweight people contribute enormously to our society. So do people with rubbish haircuts. So do people whose clothes don't fit them properly. None of those things are what we should be focusing on. And the thing is that Boris Johnson has a problem with food. Right? Boris Johnson has a problem with food, which isn't that he's eaten too much. The problem is that he is running a country where levels of food bank use are through the roof, where thousands and thousands of people have to go to food banks every week, including key workers, including people who are working full time, including children. We've got a situation where during half term and the Christmas holidays, celebrities and restaurants and individuals are having to come together to try and find ways to provide children with enough food to get them through the school holidays. We've got a situation where after the first lockdown, we opened up restaurants and immediately he provided vouchers for everyone to go to fancy restaurants. Yeah, £10 vouchers, meaning that you got best value from them if you went to the sort of restaurant that would charge £20 for a meal. And those vouchers were of no help to all the other businesses that weren't restaurants that had suffered during lockdown, and nor were they of any help to all those people who were still stuck in food poverty. But what they were a help to is the coronavirus, because people went out to use the vouchers, and guess what? Then there was a spike, and the research says that the Eat Out to Help Out system did contribute to the spike in coronavirus cases. And now we're coming out of a second lockdown, and now I'm in London, we're in tier 2. And they've got this new system where you can go out to the pub for a drink, but you can only do so if you are going to have a substantial meal. And it doesn't really take Einstein to figure out what's going to happen. People go to the pub and they order the smallest thing that appears to constitute a substantial meal so that they can have a drink with it. And, you know, the truth is I know this because, like everybody else, I've done it. I go to my local bar and I order a small slice of pizza and a bit of salad on the side, and for goodness sake, do not eat it, because the second you finish that thing, they clear your plate away and then they can no longer serve you alcohol, so it has to sit there until it gets cold. And I've seen stories in the paper about people who run bars complaining that they're throwing away perfectly good meals at the end of the night. And I understand that it might seem infuriating, but the fact is it's not the fault of people who understandably want a drink and are prepared to pay a few pounds extra in order to be able to do so. It's the fault of Boris Johnson and his government setting up this completely stupid system. Eating food does not stop you getting coronavirus. And furthermore, restaurants that serve food and bars that serve food are not more worthy of support than those that don't. And other businesses that are being, like comedy clubs, nightclubs, that are being absolutely run into the ground. If they're going to insist on this ridiculous system, the very, very least they should do is say you either have to have a substantial meal or you can put £5 in a jar and they'll send it to the local food bank. Fair enough. Okay, why not? If that's what you're going to do, put a £5 tax on my drinks, and once in a while I'll decide that I do want to pay it because I really want to go out. But it's got to be a much more sensible plan than sitting there watching a slice of pizza get cold, which is what everybody else is doing right now. The worst thing is that food poverty and the food crisis in this country is about to get loads worse. And it's going to get loads worse because Boris Johnson has failed to engage properly with the negotiations with the European Union. We need a situation in which we can continue to trade normally with the EU, and we're not getting that. We're about to hit hard Brexit, no deal Brexit. We're about to hit this situation. And I see the TV is full of adverts. Ooh, get ready for January the 1st. But no amount of preparation is going to annul the fact that as of January the 1st, exporting to Europe is loads harder, and importing from Europe is loads harder. And I see the papers saying, oh, well, don't worry about milk because the UK produces a gallon per person per week of milk. Yeah, great, that's loads more than we need. And where are we going to export the rest to? Because by the time it gets to Australia, it'll be thoroughly off. We're pushing ourselves further and further down a road that is an absolute disaster. And the problem is Boris Johnson, and the problem is not what Boris Johnson looks like.